Oh hey, didn't see you there.
Yo, what up? It's Say My Name.
Yo, what's up? It's Cream.
What's up, guys? This is Riot.
This is Blunts and Blondes.
My name's Allison Wonderland.
Sullivan King here.
Yo, this is Hesh.
This has been TRILLVO.
You're watching TRILLVO.com.
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 You're logged into TRILLVO.com.
And you're watching TRILLVO.com.
Disillusionize me, Captain.
What's up, guys? My name's Dustin. You're watching TRILLVO.com. I'm here with the trap legend himself, Kai Wachi. Say what's up to your fans.
Yo, what's up, guys?
So we're gonna start with talking about your new EP.
Okay.
So what was your inspiration behind it?
ICHOR, I mean, I hit up G-Rex originally because I found him on SoundCloud and he was super dope. And I don't know, I just really wanted to collab with him and see what we could make. And at the time I was like in a really big writer's block, so he helped me kind of get past that. And we did some sound design for a few days and made like some crazy dark vibe stuff. And we made this kind of a weird, dark ambient intro. And I mean, if you notice from like a lot of my old songs, I kind of have like weird names like Cadaverous and all these weird names. And so I just kind of wanted to fit that theme still. And I don't know where we found the word, but I mean, it means blood of the gods, and we were like, yeah.
What an awesome name.
I was like, that's it right there.
I honestly wasn't sure how to pronounce it, so I'm glad you
got that cool. Or yeah, some people.
So I literally wrote an article over Die Young, your EP Die Young, which was just released not that long ago. So from Die Young to now, what's changed? Like, what was your inspiration then versus now?
I felt like with Die Young, I was kind of at this weird threshold in the scene where, I mean, I felt like my music was being heard, but I was like, I was kind of stuck with myself. Like every time I would approach making a song, I would do it in the same ways, and like sound design, I'd approach it in the same ways, and that's all good, but eventually you're gonna hit like, you know, a point to where you're not really improving. And so I really felt like I was I made some really cool tracks on it, but
I don't know if you know this, but I named that EP like one of the best things that I had heard that year.
Oh, so. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, like what I tried to strive for was obviously the Kai Wachi sound, and you know, everyone's all about dubstep and bass music, so I was like, I have to make it like unique. Each track has to be like, I didn't want any of the tracks to be like, oh, these ones kind of sound similar, you know?
Yeah.
And I always tried to make like weird stuff, but still like would go hard live. Yeah, and I mean, what's changed from then till now is, I'm pretty sure we released that when I was on tour with Sullivan King, Black Tiger Sex Machine, and Electric, and I mean, after that tour, I was like incredibly inspired, especially seeing Sullivan King, because
I feel like anything with Sullivan King,
he's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, the kid is just killing it, and he's like, his work ethic, and like when I'm watching him produce, he really inspired me to like, I was like, you know what, I need to like take a step out of my comfort zone and try new things. And I did that, and I mean, I have so much new music lined up, and you can kind of see that my sound is shifting like through my newest song, Bodied. It's like different Kai Wachi style, but it's still my style.
I love it.
You know what I mean? And I have a lot of inspiration right now from playing all these festivals. So I've never played festivals until
well,
like,
you don't really listen to a lot of EDM music, right? I read in an interview you're not really.
Yeah, you know, I do when I'm at the gym sometimes, but it's not like something that I like listen to all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do that, when you start to make music, you'll start to like, not like directly copy someone, but you're like subconsciously pulling out ideas from music that you've been.
You're inspired.
Yeah, you're inspired. Yeah, and also sometimes I'll be sitting there for like 2 hours and I can't make anything. It's because I've been listening to way too much electronic music, you know. So sometimes I won't listen to electronic music for like 2 weeks. Just none at all.
It's been a long time that you've been in the game. You've pretty much created your own genre of music, so to speak. Hybrid music is hybrid trap is your, you know,
right,
what you're credited for. So when can we expect an album? Is that something that we can expect in the near future?
Yes. Okay. Definitely working on one right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like, you know, album is like a big thing for an artist. So, and I've been around for a while, and the more that I keep releasing singles, the more I'm seeing people like, okay, this is dope, but where's the album?
It's a little overdue. I would say.
It is for sure. But I'm working on it, and I think it's gonna be really good. I think it's, like I said before, how there's that shift in my approach with making music is you're gonna see it in every single song on that album. So
it's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah, I hope it's worth the wait. I hope the people love it. You know, it's always scary releasing even a few songs, so the whole album's gonna be like,
just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
You know.
Okay, so like talk specifics on the album. Like if as you're creating your album, you're working on that now. What is something that you want it to bring? Do you want it? Is there a certain sound that you're trying to bring to it? Is it going to be like old school Kai Wachi? Something new that you're playing with? What can we expect?
You know, there's going to be definitely a couple tracks that will probably be more of my old school kind of vibe, and a handful of tracks that are like new Kai Wachi style, but still have my, you know, my flavor to it.
Right.
And, you know, if you've been listening to my music over the years, you know that I'm very like, I like to get into like the deep zone where it's like really emotional, especially like the second half of my songs, and I'm gonna throw a couple of those in there, but where the song is, it's just that. Like there's gonna be songs that are just like not heavy, you know, just like, you know, hits you right in the soul, kind of good stuff like that.
Well, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through like a timeline of your career. So I want to start at the beginning.
Okay.
Like, when did you know, okay, I'm doing something right? You know, like people are starting to notice me. My career is kind of taking off. When was that like moment that it clicked for you?
Oh man. You know, probably. Well, when I started making hip hop beats, and I just wanted to be like a hip hop beat maker. That's what I wanted to do for full time. I didn't even really like EDM. I heard dubs up and I was like, that's weird. Like, I was like, what is that? It makes no sense. Eventually I heard Cookie Monster and I was like, yo, that heavy stuff is cool, you know? And that's what really got me onto it. But I mean, I don't know, I started seeing my SoundCloud at the time was at a very different place too, so like my growth was very steady and very fast, and I was like, you know, I think I can really go somewhere with this, you know, like that was my plan. But once you start to see it like come to fruition, you're like, whoa, it's like a whole different level. And finally when Cannibal and Records hit me up when I was like 18, that's when I was like, oh crap, like here we go, you know, it's gonna be, I think this is gonna be something serious.
You've been with them for a while now, right?
Yep, that's the only label I've ever been.
And they stood by you through everything?
Yep, had my back to the whole team. We're like family.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really
It doesn't
awesome.
happen often, I feel like.
Yeah, I know, it's very rare, and like I wouldn't turn my back on them for anything, so.
Yeah. So speaking of, let's talk about the middle of your career. So you went through some hardships, some legal issues, made some mistakes. I want to know how it is that you got yourself out of that. Like, you know, coming out of, you did some time in prison, right?
Yep.
Coming out of prison, how did you say, okay, I'm not going to let this hinder me. I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to rebuild that fan base. Like, what was it that for you that did that?
Well, I mean, when I got in trouble, it's really puts everything in perspective when you have, you know, at the time I was so young and naive. Just like you kind of think you're invincible at that age, you know. Mix that in with drug abuse and it's like just disaster, you know. So as soon as I got in trouble, it was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, you know? And my parents were like, we're not going to pay for a lawyer. Like, you got yourself in, have fun getting yourself out. And I'm very thankful they did that to me because it made me who I am today. But you know,
taught you like responsibility.
Yeah, it taught, you know, the hard way, but that was the only way I was going to learn, you know. I remember when I got in trouble and like a bunch of DJs and a lot of people were like, rest in peace to your career, like it's over for you. And seeing that really was like, and they were like, you're never gonna come back, and like there was this spark inside of me that was like, watch this. Like,
don't believe me, just watch.
Like, I don't care if it
kind
takes,
of motivated.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care if it takes me another 3-4 years. It took me like 4 or 5 years to get to where I was at the time. And I was like, I'll do it again, you know. So
and I feel like by the time you went, you had already built like a
I had some momentum, and I had like a loyal fan base at the time. So that
they were
obviously
waiting for you to get out.
Yeah, obviously that really helped too.
Did you find any inspiration while you were locked up, or was it hard because there's not a lot of music?
I mean, I found a lot of inspiration there. I mean, you know, I took it as a sign that you know, the universe or whatever you believe in, whatever you want to call it, was like, yo, it's time to work on you, you know? So I really dedicated myself to learning about, you know, addiction and drug abuse and health and fitness. And through that, you know, I found a lot of inspiration and motivation to make like my best music ever, you know? When I got out, my first song was Rise, which is like one of my biggest songs. And my label was just kind of nervous. They're like, you know, he's been in, like, what if he sucks, you know? Because, you know, like, what do you expect?
You're not working on anything.
Yeah, like, you have no idea what's going on. I don't have a computer or internet. I don't know what anything sounds like. And when I put that out, they were like, whoa, like, this is crazy. It was mind-blowing to me, too, because I was like, this sounds like so future, but I'm, like, so behind in the scene. Like, I don't know. I remember, like, when I was getting out and I hear all this new sound design and, like, all this new dub stuff, I was like... It changed
a lot. How long were you locked up?
21 months.
21 months.
Yeah.
So when you came out, was that first initial meeting with Cannonballin', was it nerve-wracking? Like, did you feel certain way?
I mean, we talked while I was in. We still kept in touch and everything, but yeah, like seeing them on Skype and everything was like...
I think the difference is with you is like, you made a mistake, you learned from it, you came out and you prospered. There's other artists who make mistakes that are a little bit more unforgivable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you were young, we've all been there, so I think that's a huge part of it, you know?
Yeah, I think you just have to have it all stems with a strong mindset.
Yeah.
I just, at that point, I had a choice of like, am I going to let this destroy me? And I was like, fuck no, I'm not, you know? I just was like, what's the other option? Just to be like, oh, I give up?
Yeah.
Nah, why?
Start off working another job?
Yeah,
like,
no, why?
You worked too hard to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
You designed
I was like,
a whole subgenre of music.
Yeah, I was like, this is not gonna end me, so.
Yeah. All right, so now we went through the beginning, we went to the middle, let's talk about today. What is next for Kai Wachi? Like, what can we expect? What are your goals, your dreams, your aspirations?
I mean, obviously just success with the music career and whatever you could say I'm successful now, but to me I'm not. Like, I am, and I'm very grateful for everything that's happened to me and like what my team's doing for me and like everyone that's working for me to push me out there in the industry, but I think there's like a level of hunger that you always have to have no matter how big you are. And even if even if I'm at the top to where like, you know, Excision is you want to keep that hunger, because, you know, life is all about growth. If you're not growing and you're stagnant, you feel like nothing's fulfilling.
Like a Kai Wachi music festival, like.
I mean, who knows? Maybe like I helped put together one with some other people. Maybe Cannonballin'.
That would be awesome.
You know, the future looks pretty big.
Kind of like Dirty Bird has their barbecue. We could do like a
you know, something cool.
I mean, cannibals, y'all eat meat, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna play a little game now. This is called This or That. I'm gonna ask you a this or that question, and you pick which one you prefer.
Okay.
Okay, so someone on my team recommended I ask you this one. Ready? Okay. The Office or Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec.
The Office or Parks and Recreation?
The Office.
He literally told me if you didn't say that, I had to end the interview there and we couldn't go any further.
I watch The Office like every night with my girlfriend. Like.
So like Bass Nectar or Excision?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say Excision, but this is because I heard him first, and it's no disrespect to Bass Nectar or anything he's doing. He's awesome. You know, he supports my music and what he's doing is great. But Excision really catered to my taste at the time. Bass Nectar at the time was like, it was cool and it was like more of a funky vibe, but Excision was just, you know, like super, you know, inspired me to pretty much what I am, you know, seated to where I'm at now. So. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you're known for combining genres, so trap or dubstep?
You know, that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to say for now, dubstep. Obviously, dubstep is what's running the game right now.
Bass in general.
And trap is. When trap first came out, I was all about trap. It was so fresh and it was like so exciting, and shows were nuts when trap first came out. But I think it's gotten to a point where kids don't get as excited for it. Me as a producer, when I hear a dope trap song, I'm like, yo, that song is sick, and other producers will agree, other DJs. But kids, I mean, a lot of the fans, they just want like the really intense stuff, you know. And
I feel like bass music in general is kind of like taken over. So
yeah, it has.
If it doesn't make you make a bass face, people aren't interested.
And you know, the scene comes in like waves of what in terms of what's cool. I remember when like Big Room House was everything. It was like the top tier festivals, and now it's like, you know, not really there. I mean, it's still there, but it's not like booming in the States at least. So.
All right, so this one's for me. You ready?
Yep.
Beyonce or Jay-Z?
Oh man. Oh wow. Beyonce.
Okay, good. We can keep going. All right, so the last part of the interview is I just want to know final thoughts. Like, if you could leave one message to your fans or like something to inspire them, like what would you say to your fans at this point if they were standing here talking to you?
Whatever you want to do, just fucking do it. Fuck everyone else who says you can't do it. I don't care if it's your mom or your dad or your sister or your best friend. If they say you shouldn't do it and you know you want to do it, fuck them. Do that shit.